Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy.
All right, folks, here we are on Saturday, April 6th. We're going to take a look at SPY and QQQ today. So to get sort of an idea of the range or the levels for the overall market, right, tracking the S&P and the NASDAQ, these ETFs are sort of stand-ins for that. These are the levels that I have on the chart, and we'll go through them, and then we'll flip over to the Think or Swim study and look at each on that setup as well. Now, the nearest in level that I have for SPY, so the nearest in support level there, 513.90. Didn't mean to freak anyone out there by saying a 4. And then if it dips below that 513.90, 506.92, and then 492.03. There's still a bit of a gap here. I mean, there's gaps all over the place though, so I'm not super interested or worried about that as being a huge factor, but just to mention it. So that's down to 492. If we get down below that and folks want to come take another look, I'd be happy to. Now, if it does push off of this 513 level and continue onward, as it is for now at least, right, on this dip down, it's holding there for the time being, 527 and then 538 to the upside. Again, if it gets above that, I'd be happy to come take another look and see where things may be going. Now on the QQQ side, long pin here, so a little less sort of skippy and jippy than SPY, right? Q is kind of pinned right now to this level that we have here. It's like 438.90. Can't really see it because the price is right there, but I believe that that's at 438.90. And if it decides to push off of that 450.89 and then 466.15 to the upside, if it loses support there, 430, 422, 411, and then 394. No, this may be that same gappy area as SPY, but like I said, I'm not super interested in that at the moment. Oh no, it's over here. So in any case, those are the levels that I have on the chart that I'm going to be watching. Now SPY, obviously making its way up on this long tick upward. Right now it's testing the mid-range of the channel, so it's spent quite a while out of the channel, and what we always look for is for it to come back in, test the mid-range of the channel, and see what it does when it tests the mid-range, right? Frequently, because the market has historically gone up, frequently it comes in, tests the mid-range, and verifies or confirms support, even if it sort of does a double bottom on that, if you will. If we see it come in here, it was out of the channel, came down, wrestled with the mid-range a bit, clearly it started to slip, and then it pushed it all the way out of the lower bound of the channel. And you see here the wave cloud flipping from green to neutral blue to red as it turned bearish. Now, pretty quickly recovered, but again, as it wrestled with the mid-range of the channel, when it pulled back in from the lower bound, it wrestled with it and lost it. And then it really had a pretty decent pullback. Now, we'll see what this looks like, but we have obviously a big red candle here, a strong push off of a near miss from the upper bound of the channel. And so we're back to sort of wrestling with the mid-range on the SPY charts. And we'll see if it holds, if it starts to slip, and what that slip starts to look like in the coming days and weeks ahead. Now, of course, it could pin itself to the mid-range for a while, sort of consolidate into a range before it makes its next move, and it could confirm it as support, like we saw like we see in many places, right? Confirm it as support and then sort of carry on its merry way. So it's sort of at a point of question, if you will, of what's it going to do with that mid-range. Now QQQ is a little bit more interesting to me just because, now it looks pretty similar, but you see all of this motion was taking place within the channel, whereas SPY, it was out of the channel more recently, and then this big red candle here was much closer to the upper bound of the channel. So this is sort of more securely in the channel. More interestingly than that is the TTM squeeze indicator right now is triggering. It's on a pretty lengthy trigger. And so we'll see if that sort of sets off any big moves. We see back here there was a 1 candle trigger and fire. But I don't know if there's anything. Okay, so here's a somewhat lengthy trigger and fire, not even as lengthy as the one that we currently have going, I don't think. But that trigger and fire brought it from like 318, 320 or so, and it fired, and it came up here into 372 or so. So really good call out there by the TTM squeeze indicator. So we'll see if we get another move. Now just keep in mind, just because in that example it showed the trigger and fire and the price moving to the upside, it doesn't mean, a trigger and fire does not mean a big move is coming to the upside. By big move, we just mean it could be in either direction. And of course, like any indicator, it could sometimes sort of display that it's going to happen, show you that something's going to happen, and nothing comes of it. So nothing is 100%, but I do get pretty interested when I see the price at the mid-range of the channel, which it has been for like 4 candles now, and it's triggering on the TTM squeeze indicator. That sort of, gets my attention and makes me say, there could certainly be a big move coming. Again, you don't know when it's going to happen. There's no like terminal period under which this trigger can happen. This could go on for 40 more candles technically, I suppose, or any number that you want. So you're sort of just a waiting game to see when it fires and then what it does when it fires. Which direction is it moving, and what do the other indications on the chart tell you in terms of, okay, if this is the initiation of a big move, which way is that move going to go? So this is, pretty interesting to me. It'd be hard to believe that QQQ would really go anywhere substantially without, somewhat at least dragging SPY with it, but I suppose stranger things have happened. Speaking of SPY, is there another? Okay, there is another level here that it's hard to zoom out enough to see. 549.29. Okay, so end of the video bonus for you there in case you lasted this long. All right, folks, I hope that you enjoy your weekend, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.